Good day, traders. Hope you guys are good and welcome to my channel. As you can see today, we're in a different setup again. Today we are outside, and so I guess as I was chilling, it got me to a point where I thought about this topic, and I thought I should just record a video speaking about it. I don't necessarily think that it's going to be a long video, but it's important, at least to me, to put it out there. And so, as you've seen by the title, today we're going to talk about the law of diminishing returns, right? For those of you who haven't heard about that topic before, basically what it states is that the more input you add into a specific investment or into a specific project, there's going to be a point where you're going to get positive results. But then there's an optimal point, meaning there's a limit. And if you reach past that limit, then you're going to get negative results. This is me just paraphrasing it. I think I'm going to put the actual definition up here, right? And funny enough, the law of diminishing returns applies to many aspects of our lives. So think about drinking water, for instance. According to your own body mass and other variables, there's a certain amount of water that you need to drink per day in order for you to be hydrated. And so the more water you drink, the more hydrated you're going to be. But let's say your limit is 8, right? The minute you start drinking more than 8 glasses of water per day, you're now getting to a point where you're overworking your livers. So something that was supposed to keep you hydrated and healthy is now starting to become an unhealthy thing, right? I can think of many examples. Alcohol. If you drink certain amounts of or certain liters of alcohol, it lightens up the mood. It makes the situation merry. You guys are having fun. It's a light-hearted moment, right? But once you reach your limit, now that thing that started off pleasant is now not pleasant anymore, right? People are blacking out. People are puking, right? People are fighting. It starts getting messy. So something that started off pleasant, once it bypassed a certain point, it started to now become a different thing. And so the same thing applies with trading. I think I've spoken about risk management so many times that if you're watching this channel for the 20th or 10th time, it's clicked. But I want to talk about your screen time, the amount of time you spent behind the charts. So we all know about the famous quote. I'm paraphrasing it, but it says you need about 10,000 hours to get to a point of mastery. And what happens most of the time is people now, also because of hustle culture, get to a point where they are overworking themselves because they're trying to fast track that process. And so when I was learning, right, this was during the period where I was watching videos, taking notes, reading books, and just inquiring about this thing. It used to take up most of my days. And so I started learning about trading when I was in varsity, doing my undergrad. Now I'm doing my postgrad. But when I was doing my undergrad, I think I was semi-obsessed about it because I wouldn't study. I was reading about this thing, and to an extent, it worked for my own benefit. Now you start trading your first live account, and there's a need naturally to put in the hours, right? You get to a point where, like I said in the beginning, something starts off yielding positive results the more hours you put in it, the more input you put in it. But it gets to a certain point where now it does not work for you anymore. A lot of successful traders I know, actually all of them, have a specific time that they dedicate to trading, and they don't trade all the day, right? That's because they don't want to be behind the screens every day. I can promise you, if you spend your entire days behind the screens, that thing will depress you, right? And so that's why in my other videos, I talk about having a life outside of trading. But how it pertains to this whole thing, You have to understand that trading is a game of precision and accuracy. So when you spend too much time behind the screens, you start to get to a point where you're now over trading. You start to get to a point where you're no longer precise. I used to struggle with this thing of always wanting to be active, always wanting to be busy behind the market, always wanting to have a position open. And that's not necessarily the key to success, because what you'll see most of the time is you will make stupid mistakes. And so your desire to be hardworking, your desire to be always behind the charts will now yield negative results. And so how I suggest you overcome this thing is through routine. Have a set time during the day where you look at your charts. Yeah, I hope this resonates with someone. And this is the short video that I have for today. So thank you guys for the feedback. Spread the message if you can. And I'll see you in another video. For now,